What's up, guys? Hopefully everyone is having a great Saturday night so far. Starting off with a little blues, baby, because I love this kind of music. Joe Bonamassa, guys, you should definitely go check him out. Rachel, thanks for hopping on. Puts you in a good mood, guys. So, Long Distance Blues by Joe Bonamassa. Highly recommend checking it out. But, so guys, today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this quote that I read in a book I'm reading. It's, what's his, hold on a second. His name is, the guy who wrote the book, his name is Brian Ridgway, and he's a very spiritual guy. He's done a lot, and with the spiritual, I guess you could say spiritual, physical, being of the universe. It's a very complex topic, and I don't really know a lot about it yet to really dig into it and speak about it on here without having facts. So I don't really want to get into that, but you should go check it out. It's by Brian Ridgway. It's called I keep forgetting. Break Your Self-Help Addiction by Brian Ridgway. It's a really good book. I enjoy it a lot. Everyone that's read it has said some really good things about it. It's like life-changing books. So definitely recommend checking it out. But this was one of the quotes that I read in it. Which at first when I read this, I was like, I kind of stepped back and I was like, that's crazy. Like, I don't really, that's very kind of hard to understand. And I had to really sit there for a little bit and actually think about it. But the quote is, until you make unconscious, conscious, it will direct the events of your life and you will call it fate. So, that's a very deep quote. That's a very, you could interpret that in many ways. So, this episode I'm going to be talking to you guys about what I perceive this quote to be and how I interpret it. So, you can interpret it in a much different way, and that's fine because, that's the cool thing about quotes is there's more than one meaning into it. Excuse me. So, let's kind of dig into it a little bit, and let's take it, step by step. So, until you make unconscious conscious, so all these things that happen in your life that you don't even really think about, right? You don't even think about some of the things that happen, and you kind of just, go through your life and, things, and you say, things happen for a reason, everything's, everything's happened for a reason. But a lot of the times, guys, we can control the outcome of what, happens in our life. And that is one thing that, I've taken away from this quote, especially from Carl Jung. I'm not really sure who that is, but I wanted to put that name in there because that is his quote. So, but anyway, so a lot of the times things in our life happen. They might happen randomly. Yeah, there's definitely cases where things happen randomly, but then there are also cases where you're in your situation wherever you may be currently, whether you're happy or sad or depressed or ecstatic about whatever it is that you're doing. You're there for a reason, and most likely the events that you've done before you brought yourself there, the events that brought you to that played a part in where you got and why you got there, right? So let's kind of break it down a little bit more. So I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but my mind kind of runs away with this kind of quote because it's very deep and it has a lot of meaning. But so the way I perceive it, right? So if you're in a bad situation, if you're in a place that you don't want to be, whether it be financially, emotionally, health-wise, whatever it may be, your family, your relationships, whatever, business, if you're in a bad place in those aspects of your life, there's a good chance that the things that you did leading up to that, you were unconscious about them. You weren't putting a conscious effort into bettering yourself. You weren't putting a conscious effort into thinking about the future and where you wanted to be, right? Most likely, if you're in a bad place in those aspects of your life, you weren't thinking about the future. You weren't thinking about the conscious aspect of putting in the time now to get to where you want to be. And then on the other hand, if you're in a good place with one of those aspects of your life, there's a good I would say almost 100%. Nothing's ever 100%, but 99% chance that you were very conscious about what you were doing, the things that you were doing to get to where you want to be, right? So if you want, a great body, you want to be fit, you want to be athletic, you want to be more healthy, right? You're going to do things that we already know because, it's been hundreds of years of research and development and stuff like that, from working out and eating better, and all this research has taught us many things, and how we need to go about creating a better life for ourselves, physically and health-wise. So most likely, if you're conscious about that and you want to achieve a better life, health, physical, fitness-wise, you're going to be doing things on the way up to that place that you're currently at, right? And you're going to be conscious about the things that you're putting in your body. You're going to be conscious about the amount of time you're at the gym. You're going to be conscious about running and whatever it may be. So those types of things are going to help you. Those types of things that you think in your head, I'm going to do this to get to this, right? You're going to be conscious. You're going to be conscious about those things, so that one day you will get to a good place. You're going to have better fitness. You're going to be in better shape health-wise. You're going to be able to live longer and a happier, healthier lifestyle because you're putting in the time now and you're being conscious about it. So like, so like if you're, other examples of being unconscious about things, right? If you're, just going out, like I'll use myself for an example. So I was in college for about a year and a half. I went to community college after I went to college in Florida. But this was a hard time in my life because I wasn't focused. I wasn't dedicated to anything. The only thing I was focused on was going out and having a good time and partying with my friends and really wasting my money down there on tuition because I didn't get really anything out of it. And I wasn't conscious about where I wanted to be 4 years in the future. I wasn't conscious about graduating and walking the stage with my friends this spring semester, because that's when they're all graduating. I was only thinking about, the present. I was only thinking about, going out, having a good time, drinking, doing stupid stuff that wasn't going to help me for my future. I was very unconscious about my future. And so that really taught me a lot of things. It was hard at first because I felt like a failure. I felt like a college dropout flunky, whatever that may be, that stereotypical, oh yeah, you dropped out, like you're a bum, stupid stuff like that. And that's how I felt inside of me. People weren't saying that to me, but that's how I felt because that's the perception of, sad to say, but that is the perception that, society sees people like that, especially in the United States. I don't know about any other countries, but so that taught me a lot, guys, and that taught me that I need to be more conscious about my future. I need to be more conscious about the things I'm doing now to help me for, a better future instead of just chalking it up to fate like it says in here. It will direct the events of your life and you will call it fate, right? So a lot of the times people will go their whole life not even realizing that this is a thing, not even realizing that they were unconscious to the things that they were doing that brought them to where they were. And instead of saying that, instead of taking the blame for their things, like I just did, I took the blame for my mistakes that I made in college and the things I learned from that. I didn't chalk it up to fate because it was. I could have applied myself. I could have done better in school because I'm a smart person, but I just didn't apply myself because I wasn't dedicated to it. I didn't have any passion for it, and I honestly didn't care. I just wanted to have fun. And that was a bad thing, but it taught me lots of stuff. So I didn't chalk it up to fate. And at first I was really down on myself, and I didn't know what I was going to do. But then I came across, especially when I came across this online community of entrepreneurs. Before I came across everyone in this group, I never read books. I never did. Sorry, that's my messages, but I never read books. I never did anything like that. Because I didn't think I had to. I didn't think it was necessary. I thought it was a waste of my time. The only thing I wanted to do was go out, work, and make money, and that's the wrong mindset. I mean, yes, you need to work and make money, but you also need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in your personal development. You need to invest in your future and be conscious about your future instead of looking 5 years from say you're 5 years in the future. Instead of looking back on your life and saying, well, that was fate, I'm here because it was fate and that's God's plan. That's not God's plan. It's not. You can control a lot of things in your life if you are in the moment, if you are as we are beings, if you are in that moment and you tell yourself, I'm going to do this to achieve this. I'm going to make this happen. I will sacrifice my time now to have a better lifestyle later. It's very possible, and it's proven out there. There's numerous stories of people that have done this, right? It's manifestation, law of attraction, a lot of these things that I always looked at and thought, that's hooey, that's crazy stuff, that's crazy talk. Why are these people even investing their time into this kind of stuff? Until I surrounded myself with people who, truly believed in it because, they believed in it, and then it happened in their life. It manifested itself. It created itself in their life. And hearing from those types of people has really inspired me to do the same in my life. And I hope that someday you guys will too, because I know everyone out there can do this. I know anybody and everyone can have, a lifestyle of financial freedom, of time freedom. Like our group in our community, there are hundreds of different people, people from all around the world, different aspects of life. They do different things. Nobody's the same, but yet we're all trying to achieve the same goal. And a lot of us already have. I haven't. I'm not gonna come out here and act like I'm making millions of dollars already, because I'm not. It's not true. That's not what I'm out here to promote. I'm out here to promote self-development, guys, because that is the number one step. That is the first thing that you need to achieve to have a better life for yourself, right? So I hope you guys got something from this episode of Master the Game, Season 1, Episode 22. I appreciate everybody who hopped on. If you're watching a replay, comment replay, like, comment, share. I would appreciate that. One last time, guys, until you make your unconscious conscious, it will direct the events of your life, and you will call it fate. So don't look back on your life and call it fate, guys. Look back on your life and say, I was conscious in that moment, and I was making conscious decisions to better myself, to put myself and my family into a better position in the future. So with that, guys, I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.